I think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids. It's kids, that's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Welcome back to CDL opening weekend. We are 2 matches in with one absolute banger to go. aBeZy, how you feeling?
I'm doing great. I just saw Crimsix all the money, guys, dude.
Yeah,
the CDL teams have been knocking the content out of the park this year.
Well, it's not just me and aBeZy. We also have Miles and Chance. Let's bring the boys back on in. And we got a, what do you call it, Miles? A humdinger ahead of us. New York
It's going to be
versus
it's going to be a humdinger. It's going to be an absolute hoot. This is going to be dope. We're running it back, man. I mean, this was a great series to watch at Kickoff Classic. Now everyone's had a little bit of time to get some homework done. This should be a bout.
Absolutely. Now, talking about New York a little bit, this is a star-studded roster, Chance. If you had to pick one player to be the X factor, though, who is it?
It's going to be Neptune, right? Like 100% the X factor for the squad. If he's popping off, everyone is going to be wheeling and dealing. At the same time, though, it might even be a map-specific thing, right? We go to Vocage, and that's where Crimsix started frying as well with the extra SMG. But I think Neptune is the key guy. When you have that extra SMG, having that success, that means you're going to be good to go.
Well, aBeZy, talk to me a little bit about the game feel keys to victory for the New York Subliners.
Well, they got to keep finding trades. 36% traded death percentage in the hardpoint ranks. They place second out of all 12 of our teams. So as long as they keep finding those trades and playing together, I feel like the chem in this team, they've been gelling really well and execute defensively in S&D. 65% of offensive win rate versus a 32% defensive win rate. So maybe a little too over-aggressive in that defense, guys. Maybe play a little bit more patient and back and wait for the kills to come to you. Study the VOD and use prior knowledge. Lost 3-1 versus Seattle at the Kickoff Classic. Now we're heading to this official map, so maybe hopefully they can win map vetoes.
Absolutely, map vetoes are certainly going to be very important. And looking at this New York roster, the 2 absolute slayer SMGs, 2 AR players, and a flex player in Crim, who honestly was lighting it up at the Kickoff Classic. Miles, when you look at Crimsix, he has been inconsistent in the last couple of years, but in this game so far, he's looked great.
Yeah, he has looked really good so far. I mean, Porter, he was tweeting about it a long while back about, like, I might be the guy with the MP40, and he really did look super strong. So it's impressive to see Crim, who's been around for a long time. He is, in many players' eyes, in many fans' eyes, he is the one true GOAT. You know, he's been around the longest, he's got the most wins, he's the man. Can he bring that today, you know, against the squad? Like, this is the perfect tale of, like, old guy who's been doing it a long time, he's the GOAT, and then there's these new kids who are so hungry for that title, so hungry to prove themselves. We'll see if he can keep it up against the young'uns.
Well, absolutely. I think it's time for you guys to take it away, Miles and Chance. Enjoy yourselves and have a good match.
Oh, we will enjoy ourselves. This is going to be an absolute treat. Chance again, we run it back. Kickoff Classic 3-1 to Seattle. We have we looked at the maps and modes today. A very, very different look to that series overall. Tusk going to start things off. Røkkr, Search and Destroy would be a lot of fun for that game too. And then we go back to the rainy shores of Kuavo for that control game. Chance, we go in the distance here today. Looking at the map bans, how do you feel?
Oh, look, the Tuscan hardpoint is a running back. Seattle, they beat them 250 to 200 last time they played, so pretty close game. Seattle had the edge. Kuavo control, though, it was dominant from Seattle. They've not lost a round of a single one. They are winning on offense. They are destroying people on defense. So Seattle has been on point, and the fact that it's a run-it-back series where Seattle is going against New York again, and a couple of the maps are run-it-back as well, it will be the clearest of indications of how much progress New York has made that they had with the extra time since that Kickoff Classic. So it's going to be a fun one, man, just to see like how long Seattle can keep it up.
I mean, Ultra, clearly the front runners in the control department, they managed to dethrone them, but we'll see. We'll get to that when we get to that. But first and foremost, Tuscan, the beautiful burning Italian countryside will be the home of our first match, and here we go. NYSL, Seattle Surge, playing for sweet old points here in the Call of Duty League, and we'll see just how this one plays. Chance again. OpTic Texas Major, not too far away. We cannot wait, and clearly, North and New York Subliners, early time goes their way.
Yeah, and nice little setup they have as well, right? Clayster chilling in the middle of the map. His teammates are responsible for the rest and handling the mid-map pressure fairly well. Pred might find the opening, and the call-out maybe just comes a little bit too late. So Seattle there just to keep them at bay. And this is perfect, man. Like, almost always the team that spawns on the left side will win that initial opening break, but Seattle doing a job making the break on the point and controlling the rest of the map. Even Simp down low, he's responsible for dealing with the guys trying to go on those flanks to break spawn. So Seattle, they cover their bases, they win all the gunfights. Admittedly, they'll be down by a bit, but they have the setup for new, the perfect rotation over towards B2.
This amount of time, he will flip soon. And for those who are wondering as well, who didn't know, maybe it was Simp's birthday yesterday. He's 20. If he can't bring those birthday vibes into today's games. Two players now trying to hit through the backside for NYSL. Here comes the hold from Pred. Gets them both, guns them down. Maybe a little bit of help from accuracy there. And a clean 4-down chance. Perfect wipe. NYSL. Try again.
And look at the setup, by the way. Pred, he's moving up the map. So now if NYSL players start to fall, they're going to end up spawning in the back. This is exactly what Seattle wants to actually have happen. Give up those back spawns. You don't want to give up control of the point, though. You got to be fair to the swarm, but you want to make sure that you're set up for the rotation. They're handling it perfectly. Mack's there for the clearance, and again, they are just trying to manipulate those spawns and make sure that they're set up for new. Seattle, it might not be as perfect as they want, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's looking all right so far. Scrap time as well. 15 seconds still to play for here. Grim's going to be the guy trying to make that one happen. Accuracy, stay alive. Here comes the flood from NYSL. Get him off that at the very least. There's a good chunk of time still to be had. Grab that, make the way across that left-hand side of the map. That's going to be P3, and already you see accuracy spawning in the perfect position for that one. Nep, though, flies right into his mouth, gets robbed easily. Take care of. Up to Clay now. Slow and steady approach. 1 kill goes his name. No one else really to pick that one up. So NYSL is going to be Crim leading the charge now, desperately trying to make their way through the front. Mate, not an easy hard point to break. Chance P3 can be a sweet one.
I mean, one good thing, though, about this, even if you're spawning P1, you can spawn up and start chucking nades on the hill, but the guy on the back heady is the biggest problem. That is Sid. He is on a 5. He will be thinking about those kill streaks. Just a few more kills away, and honestly, he's in a power position. He can wait for them to fall into his lap. There's number 1. Get the glide for the second. Easy gunfights for Sib, almost assuredly gonna get it, and Crim might be the one that feeds it to him.
He's gonna try to wait it out, though. This is for full streaks. Here comes the pressure. Great timing. HyDra's going to get the kill. There's still going to be that strafing run to play with. That's going to come into effect later on. Still, we're seeing players become far more useful at finding the kills with it. But here we go. Pred trying to slow down the play. Not a lot going on here. Towards the church we go for our next hard point. Always a mixy one. Look for the MP40 players to start getting kills here. It's close range engagements. That's the name of the game. Going in the church. Early time on the subliners. Nep through the back. Can't get it done. It's all coming down to Crim now. He's trying to stay alive as the rest of the team on the hunt. This should be all good for Seattle. Chance a nice hold so far.
This is going to get a little bit crazy, though, right? It is players hitting from every direction. Someone sets foot inside the hill, so Mack has to wrap back. Able to find the first, able to get the second as well. Mack now on a 5. Him and Sib almost taking turns, but even still, Neptune just responds, walks straight in the hill, picks up a 2-piece. Again, a very crazy hill we have sometimes over at church, but it looks like for the map spread, NYSL able to lock it down. Final 18 seconds should go their way.
It's a nice force spree from Neptune. About time we saw the man heat up. A lot of promise here, again, coming into this season as a top prospect. He's surrounded by a brilliant coaching staff and, again, star-studded players. A man of that mechanical ability should be a dominant player in the time to come. But for now, starting to get things going. You still have Surge with the lead over towards the dreaded 5th hard point. This is the blender. Check out for the nades. All about flying in those little windows. No one survives for very long. We'll see if they can get any kills here in Chance. I mean, look, it's going to be crazy. But let's go for a New York Subliners. Listen in to see how they break it.
Middle, Mack dead. Let's go.
I don't see bottom.
Bottom on me, Tim.
Yeah. Bottom. There's 2 there.
2v2.
Yeah. We got. Yeah.
I'm working bottom.
Yeah. Playing faster.
I spawn roof. They're still spawning out.
He's making you. Watch out.
I'm in there. I'm in there.
So their side.
Their door.
Bottom.
Pred their door. One in their
Bottom got me, bro.
Rotate.
Yeah, I'm putting him in.
Yeah. We're good. Yo, Paco and Travis, calm down.
One's mid, Pred.
They're gonna probably
Watch
be here.
Watch out mid. And another one underbroken.
Lamar, watch out.
Another broken, Mike.
Guys, we gotta rotate, man.
Yeah. Rotate. Everyone fucking relax, dude.
Yeah,
please.
okay. He was at
like Travis and Paco, you're talking super loud. I got him.
Nice, good shit.
I'm nading. You too?
I'll get Lamar well.
Yeah, one's gonna be
Make
mid.
sure
Let's do Sim. Let's go.
You two. Jump.
Middle on me. Pred is running middle.
He's one shot mid. You two. Where's he going? You two.
I got stunned.
Alright, go through mid, man.
Yeah, one's hitting you too.
Top first.
Yeah, slow it down.
One is pushed on mid, guys.
One mid.
There should be another one mid.
Middle on me somewhere.
Yeah, Pred.
I didn't stun him.
Work mid.
I don't know where
He's
he
front
is.
fire, Mack, done.
Nice. One flanking our mid.
Chance no one wants to disappoint their parents ever, but when your two Call of Duty dads are telling you to calm down, telling you to rotate, I mean, I would be listening to the best of my ability, but very, very interesting listening with the Subliners.
I mean, that's just the listening of what it sounds like to be in the blender. Like, they had the early rotation in P5. Seattle broke it pretty much instantly, and since then, they've just had them in the trap. This is the first bit of hill time New York has gotten in the past, like, 2.5 minutes. And even there, we're going back to P2. And keep in mind, this is where Seattle really started to get the ball rolling. They handled it perfectly. They watched the back. They turned that into flipping the spawns. But right now, it looks like Simp, he's let a couple players through. He needs to try to time out this pinch because accuracy, the pressure is going to be on him.
Yep, pressure's still on. Hold the point now. Column's not an easy point to hold, but you can get a sweet amount of time here indeed. HyDra's on a 4. He calmed down and he's turned things up. 20 and 15 overall. The kill's starting to work out again, but here comes the hit from the back. Seattle winding up for it. HyDra's up first. Mack doesn't get anyone. Great work out of Seattle. Good kills. Forward they go. Over to Clay now. He's got to try and stay alive. Here's the reposition. Pred with the shots. Sweet work out of him. As he's now on a 3, can't get any more out of that one as HyDra straight out of the respawn, straight back to the point. But you've still got Seattle in control, and chance that lead is only getting bigger.
Oh, New York, they're trying to find what decision they want to make. Either force it at the old hill or maybe rotate, and they weren't really able to do either. HyDra gets caught in the middle of the map. Sib has already found his corner in the back spawn. So New York, they didn't do either objective. And now Sib, this is the hill that he went on, what, a 5-6 spree the last go around. He's back in prime position, but HyDra there to shut him down. New York, it was a struggle to get the rotation win, but eventually they got it.
Yeah, Crim winning a big one on the backside of the hard point. Sib's here now as well. It's the old dog versus the new guns, and tell you what, the old dog's got some tricks in him. Big kills out of Crim, now hitting the wrap. These players aren't going to know what's about to hit him. You've got hardpoint still in the hands of NYSL. These times still going their way. Crim's on an absolute rampage. He goes Røkkr for a mo. Now, accuracy through the front. It is water crashing against the rocks right now as Seattle surge. Now they've finally made their way through. Kills still going. It is non-stop here on P3. 25 remaining. Neptune finding a few more here. Back over do we go to accuracy, and it's Nep again. He's still keeping the kills going, and this is typical Vanguard. It is literally non-stop.
Oh, dude, in the bludgeoning on the hill, look at that win, actually. He didn't even want to collect that time. I think if I'm Mack, I try to get those final 10 seconds, but either way, he takes that from NYSL. I mean, they're down by 80 points at the minute, and look at Seattle. They got the rotation. They got Mack up top. Yes, he gets dropped, but everyone else still inside of the point. Seattle, I mean, they've just been out-rotating, out-slaying, outclassing their opponent. New York, they got to get back in it.
It's a new year, new COD, and this team is looking fine so far. We are not done yet, though. Here comes a hit from Neptune. Neptune versus Mack. Mack reads it, guns him to pieces. It's not quite over yet, but you have to make the play now, NYSL. This is not how you want to start the series off. The clock's still ticking. Here's the small contest, 30 seconds on the back line. Mack's going a few more. Accuracy with a spawn control. Pred with a 2-piece on the hill. It's 20 for the win. And here comes the pressure again. You can still get the win here, chance for Seattle.
I mean, it's just, even if you're stripping away a couple times in minute contest, it seems like it's only a matter of time before Seattle gets the win. Even the trades inside the point, number 4 is there. Pred almost gets it every time. This time, Crypto is there. But back to P5 we go. In my mind, from the first rotation, this is where Seattle started to run away with the game. They got control of this hill, and they never looked back. At New York, maybe one attempt, some nice movement from Clay. He just gets dropped inside the point. Seattle's there, 11 seconds to go.
Sim's going to find the kills. That's a 3 spree. Almost able to get the 4. NYSL still, though, knocking on this one. The time's still ticking. Mack now from downstairs. This could be the kills to save it and seal the game. Can he find them? Crim's there. Trades are still on point. NYSL come out on top for now. Still holding it down. Neptune, great awareness, takes care of the players below. 30 seconds remaining here. And as we say, it has to be perfect from New York from here on out.
This is where they got to calm down. By the way, HyDra just spawned up looking outside the map, so he takes a tumble, but he's back in the mix. 20 seconds left. Neptune's getting all the kills. And actually, because of the nades, no, Simp picks up 2. The 1v1 inside the point, HyDra. Cannot be understated how important that is. Now the teammates, though, they got to fly on that rotation. Mack is already here.
It was great spawns from Seattle. They spawned close to P1. Now Clay flying his way forward. 1 kill at a time's all he needs. Mid-maps burst open. Here comes NYSL, but it's Simp. What a read. Simp finds a few more. 5 spree, 5 seconds to go, and Simp putting the old boys down. That's a huge opening win as Seattle takes map 1.
Oh, and too clean as well. I mean, you can hear the communication towards the end, both Sib and I think Accuracy that are with him on the point. They know the pressure's coming through you. They knew exactly where to look at, but there's just a couple things that Seattle was doing right. Like the moment they had over towards P5, they get the break instantly. For the next 2 minutes, they're just running the score up. But even those P2 to P3 rotations, Seattle are putting in the work both times. They're making things messy on the rotation to actually get Sib in the back and cause problems. On top of the fact that they're just manipulating the spawn so well, Seattle truly, I mean, that is a very solid Tuscan hardpoint coming out, even better than what they had at the Kickoff Classic.
Yeah, I mean, Sib, 39 and 22 overall. That is a very impressive performance. You know, starting things off big. Damage across the board for everyone, looking very good. NYSL, of course, Clay and Neptune didn't have as much damage on the board. Still not, I mean, it's so hard, man. Like, you're getting slayed so bad. The opening sort of, what, like first set of hardpoints chance, entirely Seattle in the driver's seat.
I mean, again, the opening break is always helpful just to spawn on the preferred side of the map. But, I mean, I think even just moment to moment, and this is the start of it, right? Pred picks up these kills on the P2. They give up the back spawns, and that sets themselves up on the rotation. The next time we saw the P2 to P3, it's the same thing. Seattle had control of the hill, but they're still, with control of the hill, out-rotating New York to the next hill, causing problems nonstop, always a thorn in their side. And they just had control of the game. Basically, from step one, New York was always playing off the back foot and were never able to take stride.
It was so hard to, you know, even make those breaks and find any sort of concerted time. The listening as well for me was so important. Just hearing, you know, the attitude from Clay and Crim, you know, the older guys in the team, the true vets. You know, are they going to help bring their team to victory? 100% of the way. When you're hearing things like, guys, calm down, HyDra, Neptune, calm down, please rotate. Like, it's almost like going back to the fundamentals, like going back to like how we play the game, everything we've talked about in scrims. Trying to execute that now in-game can prove to be harder than it looks, you know, and especially when you are down and you're being heavily outslayed by this incredibly aggressive Seattle Surge roster. I mean, practice, it kind of felt like it went out the window, and NYSL, there was times, man, where that was not pretty.
And taking the things that are not pretty, if you're a New York fan, looking down the barrel of this series, again, the Gavutu control, Seattle has not dropped a single round. They have figured out offense as well. They have a team KD of 1.46 on the map. They've been completely absurd. So in my mind, Bocage S&D, that is not a fun map where it feels like a must-win, but in my mind for New York, it is absolutely a must-win to bounce back in game number 2.
We're almost ready to get into the search and destroy, but first and foremost, man, we didn't talk about it to begin with. We got to do the game fuel keys to victory for Seattle. I mean, obviously, keep up the slaying. A 1.05 team KD during Kickoff Classic, no problem, baby. Chance they walk away with the first win, but hey, now we start to work on other things. Talking about control, talking about those breaks. Tell me about the keys.
Well, I mean, one interesting thing there is, right, they had the worst break percentage in the league from the Kickoff Classic. Well, what happened that game? It starts with the P5. They get the break, and then they just run away with the game. So maybe it's Seattle, actually, that in the downtime has been making more progress, which for the rest of the league potentially could be a scary sight. But again, even for that map 3, the control, they've been dominant. Haven't lost a single round on Gavutu. I will say it every time because it's an impressive stat.
Very, very impressive stat indeed. But there we go. Game fuel keys to victory for Seattle. Will they be able to execute? And what a squad it's been, man. They have been winning hearts and minds ever since Kickoff Classic. There was a lot of excitement coming in, of course, with this very diverse, exciting team. You know, again, Pred coming in from Australia, man. He's made the long journey, friends, and he's looking fine so far. Mack from the NYSL last season, again, mixed up and down performances. And of course, the Iceman, Accuracy. Who could forget the OpTic lineup? I mean, he had a great run. Sib has done everything he expected him to do coming into this one. So there you go. Seattle Surge, an exciting squad to be keeping an eye on here in the 2022 season. R&D match metrics chance coming in this one. This is Kickoff Classic alone. Again, small sample size, but hey, 90% plant rate in their games. Surge, no problem getting the bomb down.
Now, one of the biggest things about that stat, though, right, is Seattle have played a lot of Tuscan, and Tuscan is a map where you can get the bomb planted on A almost on command, so it's definitely more of a map-specific thing, and I think what we've learned from Bocage search so far, very 50-50. Like offense, defense, it almost doesn't make a difference. A lot of rounds do play out sort of like TDM, but one interesting thing to note is this is the first time we have seen Bocage, and this is like for anyone in the competitive scene, played with Silent Plant and Silent Diffuse. This has very much been a map, especially around that A site. You're just playing for the audio cue of when they're planning, when they're diffusing. You can sit almost anywhere in Grandma's and hear both sites. Like, now that we don't have that, the map is going to play radically different. And it should be the first time either of these teams have even played with that setting. So always a fun time in the CDL. You got to make those constant adjustments.
This is going to be really interesting. I mean, Chutz, you breaking that down, let us know. I was aggressively chef's kissing off camera there. Let's find out how Bocage Search and Destroy plays out now. And it is an aggressive opener. NYSL, bomb in hand. Forward they go. Clay's got eyes on players. Mack's going to be the player inside bottom. Hey, Nep's backing up Clay. As we're hoping to find that opening kill. Again, Bocage, fast and furious indeed. Trade central. Oof, it's tense. Crim. There's that first blood. Accuracy from top grandmas. Cooking up something special. 1 minute to go.
And it sort of looks like New York are potentially setting up for rotation over towards B, but this is still a ton of map control, right? Obviously, accuracy in the power position. But number one, Simp is there as well, ready for the fight. Able to even up the odds at a 3 versus 3, and Simp, he's going to have another one Riverside. He's looking for Crim, and he finds him, takes him down, one legend after the other. And it's Neptune for the 1v3. He's been putting in the work, grinding out Search and Destroy, but just gets caught instantly. Seattle get the round win off the back of Simp. The kid showing up and dropping the legends to win and clutch that 3v4.
Man, he's locked in as well. Like that was one hell of a snap. We saw Capsidal snapping his way, you know, through that last series. That was something special. But Sib's bringing the same kind of energy here, and a nice round again out of Seattle Surge. Neptune unfortunately caught in the end there. The potential was there for that 1v3, but still slows everything down. And Bocage, no one's got a bomb down yet. So those kills go through, and very, very different look this time. Seattle bomb going forward towards A. The lone player Sib cut to ribbons, and here comes potentially a very fast pun.
That's a great angle from Clay, by the way, for the first blood. Like, that's almost one I want to go back and rewatch if possible. But hey, bomb planted. It's a 3v4, but there's still potential, and there's the pick that they need. Accuracy, even things up at a 3 versus 3. And while he gets taken down, it's Mack near the site, and Pred trying to make a play.
Neptune eyes on the back. Pred, number 4 on the minimap now, making his way through Grandma's, and here we go. Dead silence popped. He's going to be moving quietly. Will they manage to find it? No, Pred does get in. There's one. Back over to versus Neptune now on the bomb. Slides in, cut down once again, all on a Pred. 15 seconds. Already Neptune's on the bomb. Makes a tap, gets the kill. They've got the time. Great play from Neptune. Heads up moment there. He was defusing for a second. Leaps off, finds the kill. Crim's there just in case. But if Nep loses that fight chance, that round's done. Seattle go up again.
I mean, it definitely could have been spicy, but just a very solid round of picks coming through from New York Subliners, right? Clay has the great angle for the first blood. Pred, after he finds the kill, he gets traded eventually. And even Mack, once he's a little bit trigger happy on the guy on site, the coordination was there from the Subliner. So solid round, back-to-back defensive rounds, it looks like, for a map that normally plays 50-50.
Things are changing all the time, brother. All the time. Here we go.
You never know.
Yeah, you really do never know, especially with this league. Here we go. Clay playing quite aggressive this time round. Bombing towards A for Subliners. Clay's about to run into the whole squad, and he does. Pred puts him down fast at that range with the MP40. Not a whole lot he could have done. With that opening pick, Seattle can basically do whatever they want now on defense. They're playing this slow, waiting for NYSL to make the move, and it's not going to be easy, Chance.
Seattle might be geniuses, by the way. I think they just had every player hide behind the wall, wait for the stuns to hit, and then they double pushed it out. So that's some big brain stuff. I think that might have been what they were going for, and that is translated into a 4 versus 2. Seattle just in the driver's seat, in full control. Nobody overcommitting. Pred was loud, though. He did slide. Neptune looking for the kill, and he finds it. Ooh. But even then, the trades are still there.
A good trade still. That was HyDra. Oh, there's a lot of guns. Look at his way! Mack crushes him. And a calm pop-off from the rest of the team. But man, that was an opportunity for a few there. Doesn't quite go his way. It looks so easy from Mack's POV as well. That automaton. Ooh. Ooh.
Look, Miles, I'm not even kidding. I think that might have been just like a 200 IQ play right off the opening break. Like, if you're watching on YouTube, rewind to like check my work to make sure I didn't miss it. But it really did look like every player from Seattle hiding behind the wall in the back tank. As soon as the stuns land, they made the move. So Clay stun checks it, gets nothing, and all of a sudden 2 people in his face. I bet he was confused.
Back at it again over towards A. See you, Mack. An express delivery there from Crimsix. Lands delivered. Playing slow through their fences. Destructible cover helps quite a lot here in Vanguard. 1 or 2 bullets gives you a very, very decent opening to make a cheeky play. Now the slow and steady assault towards the bomb site. HyDra. Great defensive work, 4v2.
They're playing patient. Neptune clearing out the bomb. Bang. Someone outer gets caught. The teamwork is there as well. Crimsix had help with the gunfight. All of a sudden, Pred gets one, but finds himself in a 1 versus 4. I don't think we've had a 1v4 this year. Admittedly, not a ton of maps played, but Pred giving it the old Aussie try.
He is. He's going for it. He's going to be spotted here, surely. Oh, maybe not. He might.
Oh, definitely not. No. They're giving up the plant for free, for sure.
Well, they're holding A pretty tight. And Pred, he's got 20+ seconds now to work with. They could see something here. Forward Pred goes. It was almost there. It is. All for naught. Clay, top that back tank. Good spot. NYSL secure it. And surely, mate, it was a technical 1v4. No way does NYSL let a round like that go.
No, I mean, the only way that'd be possible is if, like, someone overcommits or get caught out. But they had a very tight setup. They stuck to it again. They would have been very happy to give the bomb plan up over towards B because, I mean, what? Clay could lock down the back instantly. Someone's there to check the tunnel. And then as soon as you know he's not coming through one of those, like, you could just cut the map off so quickly. But, again, for New York, their success has just been finding the picks. In Seattle, mixing things up on defense. Last time they sort of tripled up over towards outer A. This time a little bit more pressure towards the river, and I think Sid's in an interesting spot. But Crim, he finds him for the first blood, or Sid takes it to him.
Oh,
good
Sid,
lord.
Sid is so hard to kill. Fred's about to find out how easy it is to kill someone in this room. Tags up with a nade. Plant from Neptune. Numbers starting to dwindle on the outside. Clay's finding those kills. Now Net looking to keep the back safe, but once again, it's a pinch now, as Pred's now making his way forward. Backside cleaned up. Clay finds a few more kills, and it's another 1v4, or 1v3, or Pred. Clay finds his third of the round. Holy! See you, brother. Okay. Pred just erased Clay so fast. Wow.
I mean, you know,
good round.
Already up close. It'd be like that sometimes. I will say, though, I think New York has done a very good job of just coordinating, like, stuns and nades, right? Even though Crim doesn't get the first blood, they somehow were able to sniff out that Sid was playing in that corner, I assume, based off stuns. And even though Crim dies, a nade lands right at his feet. I think every single round, New York has been very calculated with the utility that they have, and has at least been a portion of the reason of their success. Admittedly, Clay getting 2 last round didn't hurt.
Accuracy, oh my word, they almost lined up for him. Here come the stuns and nades. As the tacticals blotted out the sun there, Accuracy bails, runs on out. Quick plant there from Seattle. Here comes a fast counterattack, and NYSL are wasting no time. Here they come. Through the back, they're stacked up over by the tanks. Any kills? No. Sib, HyDra finds 1. Fast trades in and about. But maybe. Jump on that bomb, it's not gonna make any noise. Crim with the coverage. HyDra through front. Oh my goodness, it's getting ugly. Crim finds a team kill in there. 1v1. Accuracy versus Crim, 20 seconds. Crim's gotta hunt him down. You've gotta go, man. You have to find the kill. 1v1 in mid-map. Accuracy's burning time. Oh, he's playing with him. Can Crim make it? Is it enough time? Crim, is it? Half a second. Half a second is all he needed. And he would have been able to get the defuse. Oh my. Accuracy, veteran plays. Half a second purchase there. Seals the round.
Yo, what a good try from Crim,
wow.
though. Good God. Sprinting at him. Just no fear. No F's given at all from Crimsix. I mean, wide out in the open, taking the gunfight on Accuracy. And obviously, the only play he had was to go and hunt him down. And honestly, just at the end, nice finesse from Accuracy just to buy that extra little bit of time. But Crim might be the fastest player in the game.
Porterhouse, very nimble. Nice angle from Accuracy there. Tagged up by Crim. I mean, that was a great round to watch. Spicy one here on Bocage, 3-3. Sib's playing this slow. Very small line of sight to work with there, just to make sure he sees the cross, and definitely saw Clay's little red diamond. Here we go. The play towards A, slowly but surely. Opening kill from Sib.
You just catch him as soon as he's throwing the nade. All of a sudden, 2 versus 4. Clayster's on the back tank, and HyDra now going to be working with them. The timing, though, not great. And now it's Clayster in a 1 versus 4. There's the first. 3 more to go. Ooh. The second almost gets handed to him. Yo, Pred lives for those gunfights against Clayster. 2 HP in a dream. That's all Pred cares about. And that was almost tight. That was almost costly. That could have been a different round.
Yeah, it was a 4 HP. Wow. They making a good effort over there. And I don't want to say it, but it just feels like HyDra's getting averaged. He's getting wiped out in really awkward situations almost every round. Whereas Neptune getting caught cooking nades. We've seen that happen a few times now. HyDra's getting just caught running into things. Like, it's happening a lot. And that seems to be costing them. He's having a tough one at the moment, a 2 and 4, but we'll see if the young Phenom can pull things around. Another round, here we go, mate. A-bomb site should be the target here for Seattle, but we'll see how the defenders work it.
HyDra's actually in a pretty good spot. He's able to get a bit of map control, and he should be able to actually spot those players going into A. The problem for HyDra, number 2 could eventually flake him, but the information's there. Neptune looking for a stun kill, or a nade kill, excuse me. Can't find it, and the bomb goes down.
Bomb goes down, slides through. Mack's there on the defense. Good shots. Once again, gets 2. Unbelievable work out of Mackenzie, the melter himself. Here comes another one. Pred wins it again. Fraser there. Crim, 1v3. Takes down accuracy. Here comes the fast trader from Seattle. They do not let those kills get away. Seattle with another great round. Mack with a ridiculous 2-piece on bomb.
And I think he might have gotten the ace as well. I'm not sure if he picks up the final kill. He does. That is 4 in a row for Mack Melts. By the way, after the kickoff classic, I don't know if I said it earlier, but he had the 3rd highest overall kills per round. So he was popping off in S&D, had like a 1.3 KD in the game mode. And even the cheeky little spot, hopping up on top of the bomb post plant and ready for the gunfights. Nice little nerd spot to put Seattle up 5-3.
Love a nerd spot. A hit fast though. Mack feeling himself, maybe a little too much, flies forward. Accuracy's got pick of the litter there. He saw many names. Will he be able to take Neptune with him? 9 HP now, tagged up heavily. HyDra, finish the job, end him. He's upstairs, you know he is. Downstairs on the bomb site, Neptune wins 1. HyDra, will he be able to help out now as the fast rotation comes through? But he's just been juked by accuracy. He's slipped on through. He's on the bomb now. A sneaky accuracy. Any more to be had? No. Oh my God. How did he get away with it that long?
I respect the effort. He was going for just the ultimate ninja defuse. I'm sure he was staring at that player's back for quite some time, but whoever it was turned just enough. But that's a good try. You know, not too shabby as far as 1v4s go, but Seattle, I think they had won 4 rounds in a row, if I remember correctly. New York finally able to kill that momentum, but maybe some nerves setting in for the team. Because again, backs against the wall, this is a must-win map for them. Gavutu is not the place where you want to go against Seattle if you're down 2-0.
No, not at all. And I will say that hangnails have been the bane of many Call of Duty pros this season already, including his teammate Neptune. So I'd watch out for that one. But a nice opening blood from Crim. Takes care of Mack. That point for Seattle still. This is a nice opening here from NYSL. Can they find any more here? Sid with the bomb recovery. Clayster's ears are ringing. Cut down there by Pred once again. The Australian assassin strikes once more. Back at it we go. Chance 3v3.
Oh, Crim gets caught as well. You got accuracy making plays. And HyDra, he's in the middle of all this action. And that bomb not committing to either site. Couple players spot each other, but again, accuracy's been back here for so long. New York, there's not a chance they have any idea. HyDra, though, able to make this a 2 versus 2.
This is what you expect. It's the newcomers on the team, Neptune and HyDra. I mean, are they listening to their dad's comms? Versus Sib and accuracy. Here comes the shots. The fast diffuse. He's straight on top of it. Neptune, this could be the play. They say Halo kids don't diffuse. And this one, with HyDra covering him. And there you go. Hops the bomb, sneaky play. I love it. Out of the Subliners, round 11. Here we go.
Plays like that win games. What a call to make that happen. And again, it was the good intel. They figured out accuracy was in the back. And as soon as they clear out that site, you know no one's going to be able to get up top and jump over. So HyDra's got the cover. And the Halo kids do defuse. Round 11, we go. Great plays from both of these teams. You got Seattle on the attack.
Here we go. Fast hit towards A. Tried and true. The island player accuracy makes his way across map. He's going to be flying solo. No, backs on up to help out. Exchange of lethals. Exchange of tacticals. Not everyone's pockets are empty, though. Here come the throws. Crim trying to find anything here. Nades up. He is taking a barrage on the backside of that tank, but lives to fight another day. Chance, we're still all good. 4v4.
New York have adjusted their setup as well, right? HyDra consistently was playing in towards HUD. Now he's playing tighter on the cross. They know that that bomb is going down. Number 6 might make a move. Neptune trying to get the guy off bomb. They're pinching together. Couple trades come through. It's a 2 versus 2.
Fred.
But Clayster's so far out of the fight and the bomb is down. The 1v2. Clayster needs this clutch.
Slowly, 30 seconds. He should be able to find Simp. 1v1. It's Clay versus Pred. It's Nemesis! Oh, he gets it again! Once again, Pred winning those fights. And the faces of NYSL, it tells it all. It tells it all. And Pred's got just the quietest little smirk on his face, absolutely feeling himself after that one. And Clay making a great effort there, but oh gosh, Chance. A nice round 11 indeed, but wildly frustrating there for NYSL.
I mean, yeah, Clayster, he was on the brunt end of a predator right there. That was at least 3 gunfights where it felt like he was getting first shot and just getting incinerated by the MP40. But on top of that, it really did feel like a bit of a slow game from Neptune and HyDra, especially the SMG duo, like inside around that A site, never quite able to get that advantage. And even looking at the kills, yeah, 4 and 7 from HyDra. Neptune, overall a solid performance, but the double digits from Crim was not enough.
Yeah, Pred as well. 11 and 8 from him. Beautiful stuff. I mean, like, half those kills were all just Clay, man. He just, every time, he was always there winning those fights against him. Perfect stuff. Here come the highlights. And again, an interesting tail Chance. I mean, a wonderful comeback and beautiful stuff. If Crim, I'm thinking back to that round where we saw Crim almost manage to get that defuse kill. I think it might be this point. No, it's way after this, actually. He does actually go for a really unfortunate moment where he team kills HyDra. HyDra flies in front of his gun, and while Crim's picking up kills, he takes care of HyDra as well. If he doesn't kill HyDra, at that point in time, I feel like you honestly, in that 2v1 spot, you take care of accuracy much faster, and you might have that round. This would have been 1-1 in the series then.
I mean, look, a lot of nail-biting moments, right? Even the call from New York just to go for, like, the defuse in the round 10. A lot of it came down to the wire, but I think even one stat that stood out to me, it looked like at the end, Neptune might have been 8 and 8, but only 3 non-traded kills. So it's not like his impact was really felt. He was getting traded out consistently. And how about this one, by the way, from Mack, where he gets the ace just to run it up a little bit? I mean, I think New York maybe had that one round in round 10 where they made the bigger play. But outside of that, I think Seattle had the other 3. So Seattle truly just putting in the work.
Yeah, really good stuff out of them again. And we'll take it all the way to that round 11. And this was that ninja defuse. HyDra with a body block just in case, but there Neptune, sneaky, sneaky plays. Wonderful stuff to get that round 11. And here we go, the final gunfight from Clay. Full HP. Does reposition that aim. He sent us fast on the guy at the top stairs, but Pred just too strong, too fast, time and time again. Wins his ones. Australia's finest comes to play once again, and Chance Gavutu control for map number 3. You know, Tim did say he was feeling New York. That's all I'm saying. Well, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, Jesus, dude.
There are rumors about whether or not the curse exists. I think for the NFL, it absolutely does, but maybe it's been broken from Call of Duty. Whatever the case may be, New York won the very first map they played against Seattle. Haven't won a single map since. That is now 5 in a row for Surge against this squad. And again, going into Gavutu, where Seattle has not lost a single round. Apparently, they've gotten better since the kickoff.
But we'll find out, though, again, how much practice has New York managed to put in. We're going to throw to a very quick commercial break. When we come back, Gavutu control, map 3. You don't want to miss it.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League.
When you compete as long as I have, you learn a thing or two. You learn success isn't something you're given, it's something earned. Visit zenny.com/CDL to get a pair of Røkkr Zennies or any of your other favorite CDL teams today.
2-0 in the series so far for Seattle Surge coming out the New York Subliners, and this man is one of the great reasons why, Chance. I mean, look at those stats from Sib so far. He is having probably way too much fun against these opponents.
And from what I can gather for the non-traded kills, by the way, obviously the more maps we get, the more accurate to be, but like low 70s seems to be about the norm. High 70s means you are doing fantastic. And obviously with the 1.66 KD to back it up, Sib is having himself a great time. And great news for him, we're going into Gavutu, where him and Pred have been running the show. So he's had the hot hand. I do not expect him to slow down.
Here we go. This could be the final map in the series if you are in fact betting, folks, because let's face it, Seattle Surge are very, very good at control. This is some maps, and the map and mode that they've had so much success on. No one's really been able to take a round yet. This is going to be a huge one for NYSL to climb out of. A very, very tough spot to climb out of. Can they do it? Of course they can. Because quite frankly, I want another 3-0. Anyway, let's find out. Because here we go in a Gavutu.
And again, on a map like this, opening bricks can really decide to show. It's almost like a situation on offense. If you get team wiped once, you're going to be stuck in your spawn the rest of the round. So, got to win these opening kills. Sib cannot deliver. HyDra is there, but at least enough trades come through. And Crimsix, unfortunately, I think he got the wrong end of the barrel. That means the map now is wide open for Seattle, and Pred already in their spawn.
Oh no, Pred's already on a 4. That's going to be the A-Zone's second segment taken care of. I'll tell you what, it's so clean, man. It's so clean. Oh no, oh no, Pred's ripping them. Thank God Clay's got some magical bullets. I don't know where he came from, maybe down low, but that's going to be the end of that spree. But man alive, a disgusting open here from Pred. That's going to be the A-Zone taken care of as well. 2 minutes 16 now to play with. That's a lot of time and a lot of lives. 26 to the 21 of the New York Subliners. Seattle back at home here in Gavutu.
I mean, look, I know it's very early days, but I still think that might be the fastest A capture we've seen on the map this year. So Seattle, again, it looks like they have improved even since the kickoff. That being said, though, they are, for the most part, kind of stuck in their spawn. The boat is as far as they're able to get pushed up on the map, and Mack is now the most aggressive member of his team. New York, they just have a stranglehold basically across the middle of the map.
And you see that kill there on Crim. He was top left-hand side of the minimap. Play immediately repositions to take on the flood now of players from Seattle making their way forward. It's been slow. Kills are good now. And YSL holding it down still. The defense stays. Net, HyDra, Clay, all in the feed. Sib's up next. How many more can he find? If anything, nope, nothing. 5 now in a row for Clayster. As New York Subliners defense, they've certainly done their homework.
This is wonderful as well. I mean, more pressure on the guy, number 8 on the minimap, Crim, just to stay alive. But it is, as long as you are in control of these spots, you're going to have a great time. And the fact that New York was able to bounce back like they have, very impressive. But obviously, still a minute on the clock. Clayster, that is 6 in a row for him. Able to get 1 kill streak. Now looking for the glide. Just needs a single more kill. And honestly, in a spot like this, it's almost impossible to not get that next kill.
Try to play the off angle. Crim's on the other flank though. So when you have to deal with Clay, you got to deal with Crim. Slowly but surely they get it done. This kill is for the glide bomb now. 10 lives for Surge remaining, and they're going to play it slowly. There comes the stuns out. There's the glide. Fred gets it right in the teeth. That's 7 in a row now for Clayster. Yeah, he's going to push it out there for the last one. But 7 lives remaining. Beautiful stuff out of the New York Subliners. Chance, you say goodbye to A. You say howdy doody to the kill feed. Still time to get on there and maybe get a test, but this has been a beautiful round out of the Subliners.
And just nice response as well, just to make sure you're cleaning up all the kills towards the end. I mean, that is best case scenario for the way this round started for New York to respond like that, especially so in dominant fashion. Right now, an 8-life lead, give or take, by the end of this round. So that is about as good as it gets. It is exactly what you want to have on the defensive end. And also highlights for the fact that Seattle, even if the opening break is that good, again, you get 4-man white a single time, you're going to be stuck in your spawn for the next minute and a half. It is not easy to get that break. Crim getting a little bit hype as well. Trying to get New York back in this. The first round loss, by the way. Seattle has had.
Even when they're winning, Clay always seems angry. He always seems like he does something to say, and that's important in a leader. That's about
intense. Let's go with intense.
He's very intense. Even when he's not being intense, he's still quite intense. Go, Clay. One of the old guard here in the Call of Duty League, still keeping things going, and back at it we go. Defensive round now. We see Seattle, what they can do. How will the offensive hit go for the New York Subliners? So far, they managed to get a couple of bodies on A. The kills are working out for Seattle. Fred, slow and steady, wins the race.
Yeah, boy. Accuracy potentially causing problems, trying to be that cutoff man. Krim is actually nasty at this game. It's not a surprise when he's the greatest Call of Duty player of all this time, but every single map he was delivering in first bloods on Bocage. Now we're trying to open up things for the squad. Yes, he gets taken down there, but still Neptune up top of the boat. But I think Neptune's going to get caught. Yeah, Pred just has the advantage in that matchup, it feels like. And New York are struggling just to get to this boat.
Yeah, it's really hard to just make the approach. We've got that little sort of archway covered, that little rock path. Hope's all good for now. Pred. Oh, no! Pred, it was going so well. Is this the, it's not the slow and steady collapse of the mental from Seattle, because that seemed to what killed, that was ultimately what defeated them when it came to, playing Toronto in the finals at kickoff. You got to keep an eye on that clock, though. Less than 30 seconds to go. Seattle still holding it down. NYSL, though, they're getting closer and closer, and they're picking up kill after kill. And that's it. Boat's clean. They've now got the numbers. They're now on the point. The Tomaton's ringing out. Here comes Simp. Trades are good. You've still got one player left up for NYSL on point. Crim trying to lock it down alone. He's brought down. HyDra, though, straight back on the point. Reinforcements there. Keep the play alive, NYSL. The clock's still ticking.
I mean, look, if nothing else, they're only down on 2 lives. Now make it 4, so that's a little bit worse, but like, all about just keeping that life count close. Just finding 1 kill for the end of this round will put them in a decent spot. And a Clayster able to get it. I think they were down by roughly 8 or 9 going into this round. So not the worst loss you could have on offense, right? That is the nature of Gavutu, or just the nature of control of this game. We don't care about the objective, apparently. We just care about the kills to decide that round 5. So right now, Subliners just with that slight edge.
Only slight. Of course, towards the end of Cold War, capturing the objectives, capturing those segments did contribute to who gets defense in the final round. Now it's just kills. If that changes throughout the year, lots changing already. 14-11 for Pred. Trying to find a few more there on the A zone. Sib, though, he and Mack now leading the charge in on towards B. Seattle attacking their way forward. Neptune, big kill. Fast trades once again, and they've got on B chance.
And they've just now figured out that the B push is actually coming through. This is just Seattle right now holding P1. They have all the crosses for accuracy, and if you're not coordinating the nades to get them off, it is not fun to try to make this cross. There's an example why, but see, eventually accuracy does fall. FMJ might have had an effect in that situation, and Seattle still, they are putting the pressure over towards this B point.
Ooh.
And they are not having a good time.
Take those kills any day of the week. HyDra the cutoff, finds 1. And this is where HyDra thrives. Can he find any more? NYSL have gone super aggressive here, trying to pin him in towards the beach side, and HyDra, if you can find a few more kills here, help your boys out. He's been dropped. Act's all falling to pieces. Last up, Crim. Oh no, here comes Seattle. Kills go their way. Even Stevens at 23 lives each, and they're already capturing A and B at the same time now.
I was going to say, it's a 2-front war. You got Mack over to the B point, and Mack can watch the cross while he's actually capturing the hill.
Oh my God.
Right now, New York, they might end up in the blender. You go one direction, you got to worry about Mack. You go the other, you got to worry about the ship. And it looks like Mack's still racking a time. They have a tick of progress over towards B. Neptune, though, wins a massive 1. As meanwhile, over towards A, you still have Simp up top looking for the trades. Able to connect with at least 1, but New York, they have dealt with the pressure. Only 35 seconds left in this round.
And they do a great job of not only dealing with the pressure, but keeping the life count as close as possible, despite the setup that Seattle had there. Progress now A, second segment gone. Trying to make something happen towards B, maybe on the next set of lives, but you have to contend with HyDra in your spawn. HyDra is still there, being annoying. Can his teammates win the battle over towards A? Less than 30 seconds on the clock to play with. A segment, though, all they have to do is close out half of it, and they get an additional minute. This is huge. Seattle playing this slow, playing this smart. Here comes the capture. Clay, oh my word, almost wins a big one. There's 15 seconds to work with here now. We need some reinforcements. If Sip dies, he's playing for kills. If he drops off here, it's all done. Nep on the stairwell with a pistol. 10.3 in the clock. They cap it. No, they don't. Yes, they drain it. NYSL. Oh my God, chance right at the absolute millisecond away. They've just sealed the round. The kills from Nep and Crim. Holy dooly. What a save that was on the goal line.
And that honestly might be like the kill of the game potentially that Neptune gets on like the self-created best head glitch in the game. Crawling to the ladder with the pistol. If Simp gets that, you get streaks. And again, glide bombs actually do kill people now. They could be massive on this map. And it's not just the fact that they stopped them from getting the point. It was like 4 or 5 kills in a row from New York towards the end. Again, running up the kills column. I think they're going to be about plus 11 or plus 12. So Seattle, they need a dominant round on defense, or they're going to be saddled with offense in the next round, assuming they can even win. Pred, he's going to fall to some nades that take out the barrel. Nice little opening for New York.
Oh, great opening from New York. They have overwhelmed the Seattle defense entirely. Completely flooded through. Kills going their way now, but you do have ship control in the form of Neptune for now. Well, it was short-lived. It was very short-lived indeed. Accuracy's watched 2 on the cross. Pred should be able to pick these guys up. This could get hideous real fast. Uh-oh. Seattle now tightening the noose around the subliners, and they've got plenty of air left in those lungs, but Accuracy, 1 kill at a time. He is slowly but surely putting New York to task. Oh my word, it's non-stop, man. The kills keep going. Chance, can they stop Accuracy? Can you find just one way out of spawn? One little moment to get yourselves back on a Gavutu. It's a big island, beautiful place. Get out there, try and see the sights. No chance.
I mean, look, New York has joined the Turtle Club, right? Their only goal right now is to not get massively outslayed. They walked into this round with like a 12-life lead, and now it's already down to what, maybe 4 at best. Seattle, they have turned it on. This is the round they needed.
This is the one. 15 on the clock. Pred, this might be the final dagger as he flies in. Keep him there. 10 more seconds.
I think we're tied on kills, by the way. I think we're tied.
They're trying to not let anything go here. Oh, there it is. Nep gets dropped. Accuracy's trying to find the angle for one more here. Crim's got the backline covered. It is for kills. Trying to find defense. We will find out who gets it here in this final round. That was disgusting.
Look, okay, so here's a problem. The kills are going to be weird just because of like the deaths to the barrels. Like Pred had one at the start of the round. Yes. I think Crim had one before. But I think if I did the math right, and again, I might get screwed up because of the barrels, I think Seattle literally just got it by a kill.
We'll find out. That could decide who gets it here. No one quite able to win out those offensive rounds, but defense reigns supreme here on Gavutu control. And it's Seattle.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
They've got it. We'll see if history can repeat itself once more. Will New York Subliners fall to the same tricks that just hit them? Surely, surely not. As this is there now for their life in the series. NYSL, you gotta go big, and you gotta do it now.
I mean, I feel like I'm just looking at the collapse right now. You're at Accuracy back in his home. Just a cutoff man to boat control. Pred is there. You're getting spawn trapped once again.
Oh no.
Sim's in the boat. This is where Seattle live. This is how they run Gavutu. Even got Mack now on a 5. Looking for the 6. Honestly, the stun might be enough.
Mack.
Even still, New York, I mean, that is just a collapse and a half if they don't fight back.
It's not over yet. Plays glide bomb, buys him a little bit of space just to get to that cliff front. Just to get to that defilade covers. They can actually take a fight or two, and HyDra's doing it as well. HyDra, time to spring the life, son. Your team needs you. 30 seconds on the clock. 30 seconds, and it's a 3-0. What you got at New York? Flying on the point. Pred loses it to Neptune. Sib holding down mid-map for a moment, but you finally start to get some progress over towards A, and here come the numbers for NYSL.
And you have to win these gunfights. You have to keep someone on the point as well. Any time that ticks by, even if you capture this point, you only get the extra minute. You are going to be running out of time. Pred able to pick up 2. Everyone from Seattle that needs to win a gunfight seemingly has been able to deliver. Finally, HyDra may be able to get a little bit of pressure. They get Accuracy out of their spawn, and they have a moment to breathe. They're still down by a life. There's still only 18 seconds on the clock, and now they lose that little bit of map pressure that they had.
Second segment done. Pred cooks it. There's a peach. Sib's there to pick it up as well. Clock's now open again.
Oh, here we go.
It's all on Neptune. HyDra's now trying to provide some coverage. Neptune's still alive inside the boat. He's still there. On the point we go once again. Nep's trying to hold it down. He and HyDra now finding these kills, and this is looking fine. We should see it capped. And there it is. Another minute and 15 lives each.
So though, I mean, 1 minute and 5, that is not a ton of time to work with. You get at best 2 team pushes to make this break happen. The way you capture B, you basically have to get inside their spawn and spawn kill relentlessly. You had number 5, Clayster, trying it. He gets caught. You get more trades coming through. Seattle still finding these kills. And again, every single death that New York has, it takes 45 seconds basically to get across the map. And that's all the time that's left on the clock.
It's not a lot of time to work with. Pred is about to do something nasty. Oh, I jinxed it, thankfully. The play is still alive now. NYSL still going forward. Sib's up next. They might have slipped on through. Can Sib find the kills here? Nep, HyDra. Oh my word. Good shots. As Sib still keeping the play safe. Clayster though, the vet. Pops dead silence, manages to make it in from behind. Sib's now got to reposition. Clay living, doing the very best he can. Less than 20 seconds out of play with. Oh, here comes the strafing run. Should get at least that player off of the point. Will Mack stay alive? Here it comes, and it misses. Neptune getting closer. There's the contest. And once again, we're going back at it, baby. Sib can't quite take care of the players. They're on point. 9.2 on the clock. We stop it. Pred's on the flank. And here he goes. All the way from Australia. Finds himself a 2-piece. But the play's not quite done yet. We still have to deal with Neptune on point. Can they find the kill? Nep's dancing around, trying to find something. Sib's there for the kill. And that is going to be it. Oh, my God. It is over. Seattle Surge continue to prove to be the absolute kings of Kavutu, and that is a 3-0 complete.
I mean, hey, they might have lost a couple rounds, but still undefeated on control. And that round 4, I mean, again, rewind on YouTube, do the math hopefully better than I can, but I think it was about a 12-life lead going in a round 4. Seattle needed it to be dominant, and they eviscerated them. I mean, a breakdown of a round for New York. I think they lose out on defense by a single kill, which honestly could have even been influenced just by the barrels exploding. I have no idea, but they got defense on round 5, Seattle. They're not going to let it slip.
Well, welcome back, guys. First of all, amazing cast. Me and aLLeY were watching that. We were like, man, these guys are really getting the energy lit in here, but how are they so good at Kavutu? They seem so ahead, aLLeY.
You know what? It was this one thing. I was actually talking to you about it earlier in S&D sense, but it works in control as well, where the A site, I hate that teams just happen to give that up when it comes to control. They're like, oh, it's closer to the other team. They'll get that cap way faster than we can defend it, so they kind of give it up about midway of the game. Seattle Surge doesn't do that. They send Mack past boat, and it's just free kills because nobody expects a player to be pushed up that far, because then it's always, oh, well, you left B lane open. Just leave one player there. Once he gets the information, then work on the retake for B side. So the fact that Mack is able to push past boat, which not a lot of players do when it comes to Kavutu control, is that why I think they see a lot of success in it.
Absolutely. Miles, talk to me a little bit about that search and destroy, because it was lit, man. All the way to around 11, and then we saw New York just giving up that A bomb site. What does Seattle do so well?
I mean, Seattle, like, they just don't let any kills get away, like, untraded. Their teamwork's so on point right now. Like, you know, they're playing so fast. I mean, the amount of times we called it, we're like, oh, that guy's got 1 kill. He maybe be hurt. He's going to die in a second's time, you know. I mean, we'll see the stats back that one up as well. The trades, they're so effective, man. The teamwork's on point, and they're all playing at such a high pace as well. I mean, no matter how good you are at the game, no matter how much experience you have, you can't take on 2 dudes at once in this game. It is nearly impossible.
Absolutely. Chance, I think it's safe to say Seattle is the absolute real deal at this point. That's back-to-back consistent showings we saw to them versus this New York squad. And they're coming off a second-place finish. I mean, the guys are nasty.
And I mean, they're making like consistent big plays too. Like, even think about the search and destroy, like around 11. But Seattle, anytime it was close, I think they had like 3 of the clutches out of the 5 total, like going toe to toe against some legends, just outslaying them massively. Like, they improved on the Tuscan hardpoint. Even like some of the rotations were phenomenal from Seattle, but yeah, I mean, clearly just haven't lost a step at the very least. And you just love seeing the big plays coming out consistently. It is worth pointing out, though, for New York, like, if a couple little things go right, like if the score or a kill streak from Clay toward the end actually connects on Mack inside the hill, maybe it goes a little bit different. But if you're hoping for all the little things to go right, it's never going to be enough. And a series like that from Seattle, that was just as clean as you could ask for.
Yeah, and, you know, talking a little bit about New York, like, it's not all bad, right? Like, we had some great moments out of Crimsix. He had a really good series overall. I think at one point you were like, Crim is actually nasty at this game, and it's true, man. The guy was going off. I think the primary focus for them, it's got to be getting Neptune and Clay to become a little bit more consistent. Clay starting off that series a little rough. started to get into his own in maps 2 and 3, aLLeY?
Well, speaking about consistency, you know, as we were going into this, the key to victory was for Neptune to kind of really step it up. And when it came to that search and destroy, I thought I saw a shining light in Neptune when it came to the New York Subliners. And unfortunately, it was HyDra that kind of slowed down. So again, I'm wondering when it comes to this duo, if they just don't have the pacings on point for each other just yet. But again, Seattle 3-0, they proved that that wasn't just a one-off in kickoff.
Yeah, you know, looking at New York, this team is obviously a long play.
Yeah.
They still have a lot of time. Remember, Clay's coming off of COVID, so maybe didn't get as much practice. But what we saw to HyDra as well, he had a pretty good series. He was having some big moments. Miles, talk to me a little bit about what you saw to New York, what they can improve on.
I think for me, I mean, the most telling thing about like how New York's looking right now was the listening on the Tuscan hardpoint. We heard, the very first thing we heard when we got on that listening was Crim just being like, Neptune, HyDra, calm down. That was it. Simple as that. That's the biggest takeaway I have from this one. The two young guys on that team, they've got a lot to prove. They know the social media is talking. There's a lot of expectations on them as this new, very dangerous submachine gun duo. I'm not saying that's getting to them, but I'm saying that like they still don't quite have that experience. Is HyDra a disgusting player? Hell yes. Is he making mistakes that are costing his team games? At times, of course. It's on the staff, it's on the Revens, the JPs, the Crims, and the Clays to really fine-tune those moments and make sure that he can perform up to the ability that he has. Same thing can be said for Neptune as well. So, man, I just think that it's going to take time with NYSL, but look how they closed the gap. Look how tight search and control was. They closed the gap slowly but surely.
It was a really close series in maps 2 and 3, and if Pred doesn't get up and behind them at P1, maybe they end up winning that map, or if the streak connects on Mack, maybe they end up winning that map as well. So it was definitely close. But Chance, I have a question for you. Who has impressed you the most so far in Seattle through what we've seen from Kickoff Classic and opening weekend?
Yeah, this is really dealer's choice, right? You could pick, I don't want to say you can pick anyone, but accuracy. Accuracy is very much his thing. Had like 2 minutes in the Hilver map 1. But outside of that, again, Mack is making massive plays. He's picking up aces in the search and destroy. He's got the nerd spots. Pred is making the constant flanks. Like literally all of them, whenever like duty calls, when someone needs to step up, every single one of those players has been able to deliver. And again, accuracy, I have to imagine, is just like the, you know, the metal, the iron boots, whatever you want to call them. But for the team, the communication has to be on point. They play the maps incredibly well. It seems like they're always on the same page. So it is very much a group effort, but all three of like the younger guys have the pop-off plays when they need.
He's definitely going to love that you called him the iron boots, the metal boots, if you will.
I was trying to think of something better. I really would. It wasn't there.
Miles, biggest takeaway from day one, man. Opening weekend, it's been great so far. What's your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway? I mean, because you're still lit. Like, those hard points. Oh my God. I was like with like Lando and Standy cast that one. I was sitting in the green room sweating. Like, it's so nuts. And the same could be said for Search and Destroy as well. It's small, rotations are fast, kills are dope. Like, I'm excited to see that one. I'm also thinking about control. Like, there is a lot that can change in control in the way teams play that one. But Seattle are still like maybe 2, maybe 3 steps ahead of most teams. That trap we saw, that defensive trap we saw in Kavutu was hideous. Like that. For me, I'm watching stuff like that and I'm like, okay, how do we get out of this without a trophy system, without, you know, like streaks? How there is nothing.
It plays weird. It's so hard to escape for our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Miles, sorry to cut you there. We have Sib. We're ready to talk to him. Let's bring him on in here. What's going on, man? First of all, congrats on the W. You look insane out there from Kickoff Classic till now. You've just been lighting it up, man. And I got to ask you, what's it like playing with accuracy and under him as an in-game leader? He's a veteran. I'm sure he's been teaching you a lot.
First off, shout out to all my teammates. But specifically Lamar, I think is a really good leader. He has taught me a lot of stuff since we started playing. I'm basically like just a sponge, soaking literally every single bit of info that he can give me.
Yep.
So that I'm grateful for. He basically just hammers on my bad tendencies and my bad habits, and honestly, he thinks like a step ahead of me, which is mind-blowing to me. So the fact that I have the luxury of teaming with someone like that I appreciate that a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you know what, Sid, we got to talk about it. You have been talked about as probably one of the most talented players in the past 2 years, coming up from Challengers and getting put on that Atlanta FaZe sub spot. It kind of felt like, you know, you were held back a little bit. So now being on this roster, being surrounded by these great players, you know, what does it feel like to really be able to showcase your talent now?
I think that me being on that sub spot for FaZe, maybe it did hold me back a little bit, but I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, because comparing me then to now is a bit different. I approach situations a lot differently. I've gotten way better. Even though I was on the bench, I was still playing COD, and I got way better. So I'm glad that it happened now rather than before. And, you know, I'm really glad that I can showcase what I'm, you know, able to do. I still got a lot to learn. I'm still improving. I know that people said, you know, talked about my attitude this, attitude that, but once I got here, you know, I just, you know, grew up a little bit and put that aside and just put my head down. And I'm working every day.
Speaking of challengers, you know, coming up from there, obviously that's the trenches, man. So you come up, now you're in the CDL Pro League. Like, what's the biggest difference in terms of competition? How's it feel?
The competition, it's a way better, obviously, since just every single team is sticking with each other since day one. Compared to challengers, I think the longest team I had was, I don't know, maybe 2 months.
Sheesh.
So it's just kind of a lot of pickup teams, you know. So there was really no set squads to really get that chem underway. But I think playing the league is a lot simpler than people may look at it as. I love it a lot, and it's the highest competition, and there's nothing better than playing the best people in the world.
Hell yeah, man. Well, you look good, you play good. Congrats to you guys on getting that first W. Good luck going forward. We're going to say goodbye to Sib, but it certainly won't be the last time we talk to him. Let's bring in Miles and Chance and talk to them a little bit about what we saw today on opening weekend. It's been a great day, aBeZy, honestly.
It has, honestly. I can't believe, I thought, you know, we possibly would go into Game 5 against New York and Seattle. So the fact that I went in a hot 3-0 fashion, it makes me really excited going into tomorrow. I mean, Sib and Pred lit it up. And Pred, of course, was that big question mark heading into Kickoff Classic as that APAC player coming up from Challengers, a bit of a wild card across the board, clearly showing why he is here. 137 damage per life, 1.18 KD, and a 62% non-traded kill rate with 73 next to him. That's going to be Sib, with a 1.37 KD on the day nameless.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are just insane. Like, talk about hitting like the jackpot, picking players coming up from Challengers. Like, looking at Pred, he was in APAC. We knew virtually nothing about him other than that he was just dominating every single match that he played.
I gotta call Seattle.
20+ W's, yeah.
Where did you find these guys? Where was the idea of picking up Pred coming into this, and then Mack under them, dude? What a squad.
Yeah, and there was another crazy performance today, Miles, and it was London versus Florida. Now, London came out today, and they were on fire, my guy. What did you like out of that?
I mean, it was just nice to see again, it's the story of the Challengers players. Like, that has been the tale of today. Like, whether it's the Macks, the Preds, you know, sorry, the Sibs and the Preds, it's also, you know, the Gizmos and the Nasties. And same can be said about Afro as well. I mean, everyone came to play today. You know, it's that thing. It's that first day back in league. It's the first day of school. You've got so many stories to tell. Everyone's excited. There's a different buzz in the air. I mean, and these guys came out today and absolutely put on a show. Massively impressed by Gizmo and Nasty's performance. Afro was just doing what he had to be done. And again, like, for the entire team, like, we saw the tweets from Zero as well. Let's face it, he had a little bit of spice, you know, to be thrown around. It was a doozy. And the same in the interviews as well. Just really impressed by the team overall. Very, very calm, well put together.
I mean, come on, how many matches are London going to win this weekend? A lot of confidence.
That was good, to be fair.
But that did not age very well. Nameless, clearly. But they didn't delete it. I respect that, Florida. They kept it up, and they kept the confidence in their tweets and their content. But Afro clearly clapping back.
Yeah, he said, nah, G, that's how many maps you just won. Hey, that's spicy, man. I don't think I've seen Afro getting busy on the timeline like that, Chance.
No, not at all. I also appreciate Florida a little bit later on circled Nasty instead to explain how the Ravens played in that series. But very impressive. Again, I think from like the power rankings from the coaches overall who were getting pulled by Breaking Point, they had London at like the 10 spot and Florida at like 9 or something like that. Well, I think with a performance like that, I'm starting to be more of a believer in the Ravens to see exactly how far they can go. In an interview with Zero, the thing he was saying is by the end of the year, any single time he's been able to play the full year, he's always done it on a squad that's at least top 4. So that's where I'm starting to think that the Ravens might be able to be.
Yeah, and there was another lit series today, and that was Boston versus LAG. Boston was able to take that one. I mean, Boston, they played great. And the Search and Destroys, they looked absolutely incredible, aBeZy.
Their Search and Destroy is absolutely disgusting, and that's what they needed to polish from kickoff because they lost that Game 5, and that's when we didn't get to see anything more from them. So to come out hot and take both S&Ds in the series, I think that's a lot for their confidence.
Yeah, and LAG, though, I mean, they had some big plays. Asim had the game fuel tactical play on that Game 4. The guy was going off, Chance. I know you were in the back just watching that, just getting hyped.
Yes and no. Asim definitely has those moments where it's like after a bad performance in the S&D, he just goes and pops off for like the next couple respawns. So like, obviously with these 4 players, we see the potential. There's no doubts about how good they could possibly be. But I'll be honest, watching them play, I'm a little bit fearful. Like, I'm starting to fear, like, for this squad just a little bit, or feel the pressure, because there's a lot of moments, especially in the searches, where, like, they look disconnected, or the teamwork's not quite on point, or they don't quite have the best understanding of the game. So this is a team that looks a little bit off, and obviously it is 4 players, a lot of room to grow, and I'm certain that they're going to be able to, like, accomplish that, but it's a little bit concerning for me at the moment.
I mean, if they could just have players not drop a donut and search and destroy, I think they'd be all right. That's a little bit of shade at aSim and Hook, but I expect them fully to figure that out and get better going forward, especially with Bevels and Ricky on their side of things. But also checking in on social media, aSim had a streak tweet as well, which was pretty lit. He was hyped. Looking forward to see how he can bounce back going forward. But for aSim last year, he had a great year in search and destroy. This year, not so much so far.
Yeah, it's weird to see him struggle, but he actually has been turning up. He's very hot and cold of a player for me so far. He has these maps where it's just, you know, he's dropping a donut. He seems very slow, like he hasn't found his pace yet. And then he'll have maps where he just takes over and suddenly he's going on 10 streaks, he's going on 11 streaks. And that's when you really see what the ceiling has for him, what he can be and what he's capable of. But again, it just comes down to this team needs to start gelling together a little bit better and to find that consistency in that play style.
Absolutely. Well, let's check out the season standings so far. It's going to be 3 1-0s and 3 0-1s. But in case you missed the action, you can see right here, London Royal Ravens, Miles' squad, comes out with a victory, 3-0, 1-0 on the day. Boston Breach, 1-0. Seattle Surge, 1-0, and so on and so forth. Man, today's matches were lit. Miles, did you have a favorite?
Oh my! I mean, dude, it was just nice to be back. It was just exciting to see the games again. I mean, looking at the points so far, this is great. This is the CDL points presented by Game Fuel, and Ravens on top, baby. EU on top. Whether it's Toronto with the European squad or it's the Ravens, EU on top, baby. Quote me all year long, Vanguard. It's going to be a European game, baby. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
We'll see. I'll let you say that for now because the Ravens got their first W today, but we'll see going forward, man. That would be lit. Toronto is looking good as well.
It would be lit.
But this is only day 1. We have 4 matches tomorrow, so let's pull up the schedule and see what we got cooking for you guys. We got OpTic Texas playing at 4:30. That one's sure to be lit. They're trying to bounce back. I'm excited, man, to see some of these teams after Kickoff Classic, the improvements that they've made, because some of the big guys, they took some losses there. And right out the gates, we got Paris Legion versus the Atlanta FaZe. Both these teams coming off of a loss, trying to get a W. Followed up by OpTic Texas versus the London Royal Ravens. Toronto Ultra, our Game Fuel marquee match. Toronto Ultra, the most recent champions, versus the Seattle Surge. It's a rematch. That's going to be lit. And then we have the Los Angeles Guerrillas versus the New York Subliners. New York trying to come in, get a W today. Same with Guerrillas trying to bounce back. But hey, man, I think that's going to do it for today, guys. It was fun working with you guys today. I don't think I'll see you guys on the desk tomorrow. Gentlemen, you absolutely killed it. Thank you so much today for the cast.
It was a lot of fun. It's good to be back. I mean, it's going to be a crazy season. I've got no doubt about it. This is going to be an insane year of Call of Duty. I mean, yeah, we're through the year a little bit. You know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Well, much love to you guys. Everybody who tuned in, thank you guys so much. This isn't it for the COD League opening weekend. We had some awesome matches, some crazy snipes, some upsets, and obviously there's a little bit of drama on the timeline. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow with more CDL action. I won't be hosting tomorrow. Veli will be back. He made it in safe and sound, so shout out to him. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more CDL action.